Hello, Erin.
Hi.
Welcome, everyone, to another episode of the Smith Spencer Real Estate Podcast, where we solve all of life's problems. This episode, we're going to do another Dear Schmoopy. Okay. So, without further ado, it's Schmoopy time. Thank you so much for writing in to podcast@smithspencer.com with your questions. Ooh, this is the most FAQ question that we have received in 2022.
Oh, okay.
I mean, just like when we're out and about and in the public and everything. Dear Schmoopy, I am thinking of selling, but don't know where to go. Schmoopy, what are your suggestions? Question mark. Please help, please help, please help.
I don't have any.
Well, I mean, you can't, how can you help without like knowing what the person's situation is?
Here is what my MO has been recently, and I know that you will respond to this question differently because I think that you are okay with like living in a less than desirable situation for short periods of time, and I think a lot of people are not.
Yes, I'm free.
Open-minded.
Yeah.
Okay. What I have been doing is I'm reaching out to agents who have recently represented the buyers on houses that I think my buyers would like. And I will call them to say, this house that your clients own checks a lot of boxes for my buyers. I understand that your people may not know where to go if they were interested in selling, but because I'm reaching out to so many of you, I know of a couple things. So what are your people looking for that would possibly interest them in selling what they're in right now? Mm-hmm. And I'm trying to like play musical chairs.
Okay, is it working?
Potentially.
Yeah. Cool.
Yeah, because
cool.
I've kind of got a short list of off-market stuff for people that are open to selling, mm-hmm. but they need to know where to go. Mm-hmm. And so I'm connecting other agents, and when I tell them something, they remember that, and next time they know something, they're going to come back to me and say, you know, mm-hmm. you did me a solid by telling me about that one listing. Here's what I know. I think you have a buyer for this.
Well, the point is that there's a solution.
There is a solution.
So, you know, I guess one thing I said to somebody the other day was like, you know, I don't know how much equity they have in their house. Let's say it's like $800,000 or $900,000. And they're like, I don't know what to do, and I don't know where to go and everything. And I'm like, well, let's say you inherited that money, mm-hmm. you know, what would you do with it? And they're like, I don't know. I mean, but you would consult with like an attorney, a financial advisor. And yet all these people in Charleston who have all of this equity all of a sudden and no other great assets are not consulting with their real estate professional. So step number one is if you think you've got a couple $100,000 or more, sometimes a lot more than that, you need to have your real estate agent over to the house to tell you what they realistically would list it for. That is step number one. So that you know what you're working with, because without that, I don't know how much value there is in, you know, I'm just like one thing at a time type. So you figure out how much equity that you have, and then you figure out what you would do with the money. Because if there's no value to what you would do with the money, I mean, let's say you're rich as fuck and you've got like a couple $1 million in the bank, then fine, stay in your perfect house. We love our house. We love our house. That's another thing. Like, don't say that shit in front of me, guys. Don't do it. You all say it. And I'm like, you can love another. I see it happen every day.
I can't.
Yes, you can. You did the same thing with the damn dog. And I was right about that. You can always love another. All right. So you need to find out your equity position, and then you need to evaluate. So, you know, are you upsizing? In the case of a lot of the clients that I'm talking to about listing their houses, they want to take the cash out in order to fund business stuff, lifestyle stuff, children's education. And so what they'll do is they'll take that money out, they'll put 20% down on a less expensive house and still get a great interest rate and be in a much better position where they have access to the cash and not just like this equity, mm-hmm. right? Because you really, I don't think that you can really get like a cash out refi or refinance your house today for what some insane person from California is willing to pay you for it.
Yes.
Right. So it's not going to appraise like, let's say if you were going to do a refinance, it would appraise for like 2 million and you can get you can get somebody from somewhere else to give you 2.5. Well, that's what you should do. You should take the cash and run. And, there are other solutions. There are other places to live. There are other homes that you will also enjoy, to Erin's point. And then I have convinced a couple of people who are open-minded like myself to rent as well. Mm-hmm. For those people, there is a benefit to taking the time to find out their next project. So those people are people who are capable of adding value. They're like design people. So they want to take their time. They want to find a project and they're going to rent anyway while the property that they purchase is being renovated. So it doesn't hurt them to go ahead and get into a rental because inevitably they're going to have to get into a rental anyway. So they're looking at doing a rental for like 1.5 to 2 years. So, those are some of the suggestions, but I think just like throwing your hands in the air and being like, oh, I don't know where I would go is financially irresponsible because who knows how long like things are going to be like this. I mean, in my opinion, it is the ideal time to sell. Like I'm going to sell my house because I just am like, gosh, I really think like people are going to be fighting over it and it's going to be a multiple offer situation. It's a guaranteed to be a multiple offer situation. So why wouldn't you want that?
Alternatively, you could just go buy an RV and live on the road. That's cheap.
Love that
and
advice.
Fun. Yeah.
You're so smart, Schmoop.
That's why they call me Schmoopy.
All right.
That's not why they call me Schmoopy. But that's
anyway,
why I have a segment.
That is why you have a segment.
Actually, its own episode now.
It is its own episode now. What more do you want? You're fucking amazing.
And we're on video because apparently people watch podcasts now.
They've been watching podcasts for a long time. There's no.
Okay.
All right. So, if you are curious about where to go and how much equity you have and you do not have a trusted real estate professional, please hit up Schmoopy or myself. We'd be happy to come over and give you our consult on that. And don't forget to write in your questions to podcast@smithspencer.com. We need a relationship advice question. You used to do those all the time. Now we're just getting nothing but real estate questions.
Hit
Inappropriate.
Me up with love.
Yeah. And I guess that's it. Don't forget to rate, review, and subscribe. Thank you so much for listening and tuning in to our podcast. We appreciate it so much.